your source for all things Texas Tech. This is the Ask Level podcast from Double T 97.3.
Hey, what's happening? Welcome into another episode of the Ask Level podcast alongside the one and only Chris Level. I'm Chois Woodman. This podcast, as usual, brought to you by our friends at Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Level, a few different things going on in the sports world. There's some SEC propaganda being thrown around. There's football talk as we're inside 100 days. I think we're inside 90 days now till the Texas Tech football season. But what has taken Lubbock and, Texas Tech Nation by storm is a softball team that is playing in Oklahoma City or has been playing in Oklahoma City. And man, it's been quite the fun ride to watch this group do some things that they've never done and do some things that other teams haven't done in a while, like knocking off Oklahoma and keeping them from winning another national championship. So I don't know if you're as caught up in the softball wave as I am, but it's been a blast.
Typically with a lot of these Texas Tech teams, and you and I are both involved in this. Like we've got a headset on, we're broadcasting. You may be producing whatever, and you've got a job to do. And so, like in my football and basketball travels and journeys and everything, it's stressful, but it's not as much as you think because you're there in the moment. You have a job to do, and you're not feeling this stress like it is when you're at home watching on TV. And I'm
Right.
feeling that stress now.
I hear you. Okay.
I have so the Monday night game versus Oklahoma.
Yeah.
It was, I'm waiting for this thing to start. I'm like, every pitch is like stressing me out.
Oh,
I'm having
sure.
to get up and walk around. I'm like not wanting to switch places where I'm sitting or what I'm drinking, or I can't mess up. Again, all the things that we do as sports fans, which
Right.
have nothing to do really on the outcome. But it's been, not only is this a great story, this is a great thing for Lubbock and women's athletics at Texas Tech. But the drama involved here and the storylines involved here for so many reasons, but specifically on Monday night,
Yes.
are just out of a script that if you pitched it, somebody would be like, it's a bit too far-fetched. Um, and I'm pleased for so many that they are getting so much enjoyment and satisfaction. I don't know how this is going to end. Part of you wants to say you've already done so much that if it doesn't go your way in the finals, it's still been just unbelievable. And that is true, but there's still more work to be done. But just what an unbelievable guy in charge of this program. I
Hmm.
think Kirby Hocutt takes a lot of grief, and he has, for some of the hires that he's made or things that, whatever. He deserves a lot of credit here for putting Gerry Glasco in place as the head coach of Texas Tech softball. He has basically, because of that decision, has changed the face of the university in late May and early June in many ways. I mean, you're getting it's just Josh Young and Pat Mahomes are sitting at home tweeting about Texas
Right.
Tech softball. And yeah, and you got a coach, man, that's just like, what a personality, what a vibe he is, what a just what a story, and his background, his late to the party deal. His family, and it's not all been great news. Unfortunately, he lost a daughter back in 19 to a car accident, and she was about to go to work for him, and
Yeah,
just all the things. I mean, it's just been. I haven't enjoyed something like this because there's nothing like the first run, Woodman. Next year there's going to be some expectations, and I will say this to you: your team will look different next year. You will have another run at this. I can assure you there will be a
sure.
lot more expectations. You are going to add via the portal. Trust me
Hmm.
when I tell you that you will add via the portal, and you're playing ball at the highest level. And so, but there's nothing like the first run at this deal, and we'll see
Right.
how it ends. But man, what a ride and what a run! And shout out to John Sellers and his wife Tracy, and everybody that's been involved in this deal. Shout out to some of these kids that maybe weren't sure if they were good enough to be
Sure.
are able to compete at this level. And some of them maybe were like, absolutely, I thought I could do this. But it's just been fun to watch them come along and grow up and get tougher and get better and do things that have never been done before. And literally, nobody's ever made it to the
Yeah.
finals in their first appearance at the College World Series before. Not until now.
I it's funny you hear some of these players speak, and some of them are like, "Oh yeah, I knew we had the roster to get to the College World Series or to get to go try to win a national championship." And then there's other ones that are like, "Not in my wildest dreams did I imagine we would be here right now." And it's that combination. You've got some young players, some freshmen that are contributing. You've got obviously the pitching and the leadership of Nigeri Kennedy, and it just seems to be that perfect mix right now. And we talked about it so much before the season started. I mean, one player can affect this sport so much, but it has been a pretty impressive team effort because it wasn't just one player Monday night. I mean, Nigeri Kennedy puts you in position to win that game, but when she gives up the two-run homer, the other teammates pick her up. So, I mean, that was that moment was as much of a just a oof to the gut as you could get, but then you go take care of it in the seventh inning.
And
So
did you hear what he said after the game
I
about
did,
that?
I did.
Yeah, and I
He,
and I thought that's great coaching.
mhm.
This is why sports teach us life lessons, and it is about winning and it is about competition, but there's things that you pull from sports that you use in everyday life, and this was one. Because I think that, I mean, down to your final strike, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
And the ninth hitter in the lineup,
yep,
and then the Sooner Magic thing, and you've got these former players from Oklahoma with like a gazillion championship
I
rings on
know.
their hands, running around, and like they're like, here we go. And this little old engine that could, and it's not little, and it's not an engine, it's a machine,
No kidding.
was like, nope, not on this day. You're like, but that's what made winning the way you did that much sweeter, that much, and I think that as Coach Glasgow pointed out, we are better for that because
Mhm.
they tied it up and we had to win it this way as opposed to winning in a 2-0. I mean, they hadn't been shut out in what was it, 6 years?
Yes, and you were
And
a
and
strike
and,
away
and
from
you're a
that.
strike away, and it's like, nope. I mean, so um, I mean, but just of course, this was in many ways like beating Houston at Houston in men's basketball with all the dynamics at play.
Yeah,
And I said it at the time, and it seemed appropriate on Monday night as well. Like you went into the lion's den and you ate the lion because there's not I mean, the biggest of stages, the best of dynasties. It wasn't necessarily a road game, but it kind of was. You had plenty of people there, but and then they do the thing, and
hmm,
they have this magic moment, and it's like, oh no, oh
yep,
no,
yep.
like what? Here we go, like, and just almost immediately, base hit, and you just start, making it happen, and you sack fly Maya Davis in, which Coach Glasgow was like, she was not even sure she could make it, wasn't even going to go. I'm like, no, you're tagging, you're going, and was safe easily.
Yeah.
But it's just watching a coach get the belief of players and these ladies playing for each other and the selfless terminology they keep throwing out there. It's just been an honor to watch them grow up and get their moment because
Yeah.
this. And this is honestly, Kirby's received a lot of criticism over the years for the coaches he's put in place over at softball, and whether it was Shannon Hayes or Adrian Gregory or and like their treatment of players or their departure or whatever.
Sure. Sure.
You were kind of an afterthought. You were kind of a sore thumb on the athletic department, like and now you are. You kidding me? I mean, are you kidding me?
I mean, level
I mean,
we how many national champ? I was trying to think about this, but how many national championships, team national championships, has Tech ever played for? Is this the third? Because I know that you've got the track ones, but in terms of a
yeah,
national
like a
championship
game.
game, yeah,
Yeah,
this is the third,
I,
right?
I think that's probably right. I mean,
I mean,
unless
this,
I'm missing something from many years
yeah,
ago.
I think that's it. You had a women's basketball one that you won, you had the men's basketball one that you lost, and it doesn't come around. I mean, this is a really big deal to be
Well,
in
and
this situation.
and to go even further, like that moment on Monday night and winning that game, regardless of what happens,
Yeah, yeah,
that's like that's one of the top women's athletics moments in the history of your athletic department,
no doubt,
period.
no doubt.
Doesn't matter era, sport, whatever. And you've had some serious track and field success, and you've had some individual accolades. But as from a team standpoint, yeah, I mean, Nyjah Kennedy's Cheryl Swoops right now.
Pretty well.
I mean, that's pretty much what you're doing, and
Yeah,
I mean, but he's been here. He hasn't even been in Lubbock for a year,
yeah,
this man.
it's crazy.
And he's just this riverboat gambler. This, I'm going with my gut. I'm going to pinch hit at weird times. I'm going to pinch hit for a girl. We're trying to get to the championship series, the College World Series, that just hit a triple.
Triple.
I'm going
Yeah,
to pinch hit for her.
yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna steal home. He's just so likable, and I don't know. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope there's people out there that are probably like, I don't, I'll wake me up when football season gets here. I just think you're missing an unbelievable story. You're missing.
yeah.
I hope that most of the people listening to us have because I haven't missed a single pitch of any postseason game that they've played, and that includes the Big 12 tournament. And I will fully admit, I never thought I'd say that about myself. It's a great product. It's fast paced. It's tremendous theater, and
Hmm.
I'm wildly entertained. And yes, it helps that my team is winning because I
Sure.
love me some winning, man. I love me some
Who
winning.
doesn't?
Yeah, I don't know if I would have watched if Tech would have been ousted and I would have kept going, but the combination of all of it, I mean, I'm hooked, man. It's right here in this sweet spot where there's not a whole lot going on, but it's just
Sure.
been, man, I don't know, man. Yeah, if I was any happier, I'd be twins. But this has just been awesome to watch it and watch all the ancillary parts enjoy this run because there's just nothing like the first one. That's the thing. Next year there's going to be some expectations.
Yeah,
You
there
won't
will.
be off the radar. You won't be this cute story anymore. And I say cute because that's some people are wanting to label you as that
Hmm.
or playing the NIL card or whatever. But because again, I will promise you you are about to make some news via the portal that you will be back and are expected to do tremendous things with a loaded roster. And it's just been, I don't know, but this run right now, it's just been Cinderella-ish in many ways. But I mean, I think you're right. Woodman, some of those people they believed, and the coach has breathed life into some of those folks and made them believe like, absolutely, I knew that we could do this. We just needed an opportunity, or we needed to get better at this or that. And anyway, it's not just Nigel Kennedy anymore. It's you've got a
No,
team that's really doing their part.
no doubt. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun to take in as a fan. Now, we got a couple of softball questions.
Hey,
Uh,
Woodman, and you hit record on this, didn't you?
oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I just want to make sure that we don't lose this greatness that we just put out there.
Hey, bud. I mean, I thought you just liked talking to me. I thought
I
this
mean,
was
yeah, no,
a chat.
I'm being sarcastic because
I know.
yeah, because
Who,
because I think there will be people that in some ways, I mean, think about yourself 5 years ago. Did you ever think that you and I would be doing a podcast and
you know,
we would spend, I don't know, whatever this has been, 10 or 15 minutes talking women's softball at Texas Tech,
I
and it
was
be as meaningful as it's been?
I was just thinking that. I'm like, man, who would have ever thought that we would be sitting here having a softball heavy, softball dominant podcast at Texas Tech? I mean, but that's how captivating it's been. I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think anybody that's paid attention, we're preaching to the choir there, and that's what's that's
I've
what's fun about it.
and I've bumped into so many people that know what I do and know, my Texas Tech affiliation or
Hmm.
association, and they're like, "Hey, how come you're not in Oklahoma City?" Or, "Man, are you watching this softball and this softball crazy?" And
Yeah,
it's awesome because it's like, yes, I need to figure out if I can get to Oklahoma City for these finals, but I love that everybody is parachuting in kind of like we are.
yeah,
I fully admit we were doing basketball, you were doing a lot of baseball.
hmm
This softball thing was kind of under the radar. I was paying attention, but I started paying attention big time in say early May, whenever, and then I've watched every bit of the NCAA tournament, the Big
sure,
12 tournament. I think I told you, watched them play BYU in the regular season finale. It was on ESPN on a Saturday night. I'm like, I was happier than I could be sitting at home watching my alma mater on national television in softball. And I'm
yep,
like, I was puffy chested a little bit. I'm like, yeah, we're legit. Like, yeah, we're up in Provo doing the thing, and I, just haven't put the ball down yet, and I'm wanting to keep playing with it, juggling it, and it's just been awesome.
yep.
So anyway, yeah, sorry for being long-winded there.
All good. We got a question. This one comes from Brandel. It says, "Is softball a flash in the pan with Nyjah, or are we going to see a building program that'll stay competitive with Glasgow?"
I would just say this to you. I don't know how the rules are going to be with anything going forward. We're kind of in this weird time frame right now where there are no rules. I think Texas Tech has done a wonderful job of taking advantage of them. They have continued to take advantage of them,
Yep,
and buckle up because I'll just say this: for next year, you're going to be on paper there. You won't be a 12 seed next year nationally.
agreed. Yep.
And I don't think all that news, it's not my news to break, but all that stuff will kind of play out over the coming days and weeks, and everybody's focused on the moment. But I think this thing sets up to be relevant for a bit. Yes. Coach Glasgow and his daughter, who I think whenever Coach Glasgow decides I don't want to do this anymore, I think his daughter probably takes over, and
Hmm.
I think that they've built some serious interest in a brand for their program, and it's and there's backing there, and that's very important because there's people that can help the situation out that deeply care, and I think are so yeah. Shout out to I think I already said it, but shout out to John Sellers and his wife Tracy, man,
Yep.
because they and the Matador Club and all the things there because. That they have and it's worked, Woodman. I mean, I hate that I feel like in a way you've been vilified or you've been poked at or you've been everything's been pointed at, like Lubbock has been made fun of, the Big 12 has been made fun of, Texas Tech has been made fun of, Nigel Kennedy has been poked at and made fun of. Whatever. But Texas Tech did nothing wrong here. They played within the rules. They did it better. They chose correctly on exactly how
True.
to appropriate funds, and and Kirby deserves a lot of credit for putting the guy in place that could kind of orchestrate a lot of this. I
Hmm.
think Coach Glasgow did a good job facilitating donors and all the things, but I mean, it's just I mean, I hope that he can get a new pickup and some new pitching machines after this is all said and done, or maybe we've got enough money to ship those so we didn't have to spend 18-hour cross-country drives. But I know this, I'd be willing to bet you that next year he's not going to have to drive those pitching machines
You're
for any
right.
part of the NCAA tournament and all that. So
Unless
anyway,
he just really wants to, then I bet there's a
and
dealership in town that probably wants to give him the wheels for
yeah.
it.
And in some ways, it may be therapy for him.
Yeah,
He may
some
like the
people like
windshield
that.
time. Yeah, that's right. It may be therapy for him, or like this is my routine. This is what I do.
Yeah.
But it's just and like that storyline. I feel like that's 2 or 3 weeks ago,
Hmm.
and we've moved on to all these other things. So, anyways, but yeah, here we are continuing to talk meaningful Texas Tech softball, and it's awesome. I mean, inject it right into my veins, man. I can't get enough of it.
One thing that is very apparent over the last few days, few weeks, is how much the players love Coach Glasgow too. I mean, you saw it
Yeah.
with his former player on the mound for Oklahoma on Monday night. You've seen it with plenty of the others. Obviously, you get five players to follow you from your previous spot. That they're not doing that if they don't like you. So it does seem like he's a very respected and adored coach by his players. So
And yet he's hard nosed. I mean,
he
he
is.
he's a button pusher. He'll tell you this.
Hmm.
I think it was very appropriate. They said on the telecast, Amanda Scarborough, I think, is the analyst, and she said something like, he's got a reason for everything that he does.
Sure.
A lot of coaches, they don't verbalize that after the fact. He's one that will tell you. He verbalizes the reason for everything. And I mean, after the game is over, he's like talking about, yeah, I pinch hit for it was maybe it was Maya Davis, and like I pinch hit for her. I was
Hmm.
just trying to make her mad. She goes, she just kind of didn't say anything, and she goes, but I was trying to motivate her. I'm trying to poke her a little bit and trying to get her best out of her. And then here she comes up at the end of the game and ends up on base, and maybe it's because of that he pinch hit for her earlier in the game. I mean, it's just, but he's got this outside the box, and that's what Patty Gasso said too. Is like he does it right. I know every time we play them, we're going to get a battle. That's what I love about the way he rolls because it's not necessarily traditional in some. I mean, the
Sure.
stealing home thing
That's
is just total insanity.
amazing.
And he said he's like, I know that if it doesn't work, all these people that are calling me a genius or calling me gutsy, they're
Hmm.
calling me an idiot. I mean, I was willing to live with that, but we have to take some chances. And anyway, I don't know. It's been a pleasure to watch, and I hope that they've got more memories to be made here because now you get the evil empire.
Oh
I mean,
man.
are you kidding me on the storyline here?
Yeah.
You have to go up to Oklahoma City, you have to get through Oklahoma, who's won four natties in a row, and then you play Texas, who's never won a national championship because they can't beat Oklahoma.
Right.
And I'm sure maybe the evil empire is saying the same thing. Maybe they're saying, "Are you kidding me? Like of all the teams, we got to play Texas Tech and
Right.
this story, this
Uh-huh.
hot team. I mean, whatever, but." Makes for great theater, makes for great drama, and forever, man, horns down. I mean, always and forever.
I know, and that's what's fantastic. You get to mow through or attempt to mow through the two teams that left the Big 12 conference. You beat OU already. You get a chance to do the same thing to Texas to win your first national championship. I mean, the stories are endless with this stuff, but um, man, it sure does give you the opportunity here to do something extremely special, and you get to try to do it against a rival. So, which obviously they're good. They're 3-0 just like Texas Tech is. So it won't
Well, and
be
they've
easy.
in Woodman they've beat you twice already this year.
Correct. One you should
Yeah.
have won. One of
Well,
those.
I know, but you didn't, and then
No.
those were at their place.
Yeah.
I do think that you're a much different team now than you were
Yes.
then. I mean, no, there's no doubt about it. You have much more confidence and maturity, and maybe most importantly, toughness.
Yeah.
And the crowd in OKC will be fascinating because the Sooner
Yes.
fans have filled this place up, and I just wonder how many people will decide to go and
Yeah.
be a part of this whole deal. I don't know, but I that the environment should be awesome. I mean, here, I mean, you got these two Texas schools setting up shop in Oklahoma City. The NBA Finals will be going on,
Yeah.
just short,
Sure.
uh, distance away with the Thunder. But anyway, just the whole thing is just crazy.
And any Sooner fans that didn't dump off their tickets, any of those that are staying and just going to watch, they're rooting for the Red Raiders. So that's because they
I
surely
would
aren't
think
rooting for
so.
Texas.
I would think so, unless they've been brainwashed to this
Oh,
cult-like SEC, deal that we get shoved down our throat all the time.
no kidding, man.
Yeah.
We might get to that. We might save that for another time. There is a question from Tony on Twitter. Tony asks, and this is on the heels of the softball stuff, will Texas Tech need to throw more NIL money towards the baseball program?
Well, I mean, need, sure. The question is how does that happen? Who
Right.
facilitates that? Is there anybody that's motivated behind the scenes that has a specific baseball interest? And in some ways, maybe that's too late. In that, if the rules start to change,
Maybe.
but they could use, yeah, they could use help. But again, it takes sports specific motivation from
Right.
some of that. Like I think, the Lady Raider basketball program probably there was some of that motivation as it related to Aaliyah Chavez that didn't work out. And so sure, but there's a lot of components there that need to fall into place. This is just, I mean, Coach Glasgow would be the first one to tell you there's some luck involved in that. You've got some people that and rules in place that we came here at the right time. We connected and they're motivated and like let's have some fun with this deal. And you know, and so I mean, and it equals a special season and a World Series appearance that I think again you would be that there will be some serious expectation to do some things special next year as well. But I don't know who that is and who those parties are for baseball. But the general premise is sure they could use some help. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's pretty obvious. And hopefully they can get it. Because it would be fun to get them back into the mix. Because we remember you talked about the first times. We remember those
Mhm.
first times. And I think a lot of people for baseball never would have imagined that 2019 would be your last one in 5 or 6 years, your last College World Series in 5 or 6 years, and you'd be sitting here where you are. But that's also how difficult it is in that sport to get there, and that's why you can't take things for granted.
Yeah,
That's
and I mean, and again, it's like 5 years later, or whatever, you didn't even make the NCAA tournament.
right.
That would have just not been in anybody's thought process.
No
Okay,
one.
not hosting is one thing, but not even making the tournament and being, yeah, just not being relevant in your conference or anything like that. That's but again, they can get it back. It's just going to take some pitching,
Definitely need
and
that.
choosing correctly if you are allocated dollars,
Sure.
choosing correctly.
Yeah. Yep. No doubt. All right, Level. We do have some football questions that we'll hold over till next time. We could talk about the SEC, ESPN propaganda machine in the future too. But we spent a lot of time on softball, rightfully so, for this one, and hopefully we get to talk about a national championship. Would be fun over the Longhorns if you can do that.
Yes, it would.
So
Yeah.
much.
Yes. Yeah.
Dream no little dreams, Level.
I know. It from here it's possible, right? Yeah.
That's right.
Give me all the cliches. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
right.
right.
So we done here?
We're done, man. Well,
Okay. I guess yeah, we'll next time we wrap, we can talk about how this thing ended up, but yeah, we'll get into some football stuff.
Yeah.
And then all the playoff and league meetings and all the things that have kind of taken place and
Yeah.
what all that means, and football recruiting going on big time right
Big time.
now.
Yeah.
A lot of official visits coming up the next several weekends, and so anyway, there you go.
Sounds good. Level, appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Thank you to Cantex Roofing for taking care of us with this. Woodman, certainly appreciate spending some time with you on a weekly basis. It's not too much longer. You're going to be seeing a lot more of me when fall gets here.
Can't wait.
I know you're so excited.
I'm so excited. All right, that is
Yes.
Chris Level. I'm Chois Woodman. This has been the Ask Level podcast powered by Double T 97.3.
You've been listening to the Ask Level podcast, powered by Double T 97.3.